a lone traveler was crossing a remote desert in his off-road vehicle, enjoying the endless golden dunes under the blazing sun. Everything seemed normal until the engine suddenly failed. He tried everything he could to fix it, but nothing worked. With no phone signal, no nearby roads, and almost no supplies, he quickly realized he was completely alone. Checking his backpack, he found only a little food and a nearly empty bottle of water. As the sun began to set, the desert grew silent. The heat disappeared, replaced by freezing night air. Wrapped in his scarf, he spent the night beside his broken vehicle, hoping help would come. Morning arrived, but no one appeared. Knowing he couldn't wait forever, he made a difficult decision. Carrying only his backpack and survival gear, he left the vehicle behind and started walking across the endless desert. Hour after hour, the scorching sun drained his strength. Every step through the deep sand became harder than the last. Sweat covered his face, and the little water he had left was almost gone. Then, something incredible appeared on the horizon. It looked like a beautiful lake shining beneath the sunlight. Filled with hope, he hurried toward it, believing he had finally found water. But as he got closer, the lake slowly disappeared. It had never been real. It was only a mirage. Exhausted and disappointed, he found a small rocky outcrop where he rested in the shade. He took the last few drops from his water bottle, knowing there would be no more after this. Just then, the wind began to change. In the distance, a massive wall of blowing sand raced toward him, a desert sandstorm. Within minutes, the sky turned orange and visibility dropped to almost nothing. He wrapped his scarf tightly around his face and fought against the powerful wind, struggling to stay on his feet. Finally, he found shelter behind a large rock and waited as the storm raged around him. Hours later, the wind became quiet again. But when he stepped out, the desert looked completely different. The storm had erased every footprint and every familiar landmark. He was even more lost than before. As he searched for a new direction, he noticed something unusual. Fresh animal tracks crossed the sand. There was only one reason animals would travel through such a harsh place. They were searching for water. With no better choice, he followed the tracks across the endless dunes. As the sun slowly began to set, he climbed to the top of a massive sandhill. Then, in the far distance, he noticed a small patch of green breaking the endless sea of sand. For the first time in days, hope returned. Then he knelt down, filled his bottle, washed the dust from his face, and carefully drank the cool water. After days of fear and exhaustion, it felt like a second chance. Knowing he couldn't waste the opportunity, he rested beneath the shade of a few small palm trees and planned his next move. As evening arrived, he gathered dry branches and built a small campfire to stay warm through the freezing desert night. The next morning, he climbed to the highest sand dune and searched the horizon. Using large rocks and dry branches, he created a giant SOS message on the sand. Then he climbed back to the top of the dune, holding a bright emergency cloth high above his head. Hours passed. The silence returned. Then, a distant sound echoed through the sky. At first, he thought he was imagining it, but the sound grew louder. A search and rescue helicopter appeared on the horizon. With all the strength he had left, he waved the bright cloth again and again. The helicopter circled above the desert. Moments later, it turned toward the giant SOS signal. They had seen him. As the helicopter landed nearby, powerful winds set sand flying in every direction. Rescue team members rushed toward him with water and medical supplies. For the first time in 7 long days, he knew he was safe. Inside the helicopter, he looked out the window at the endless desert below. Far in the distance, he could still see the broken vehicle where the journey had begun. It was hard to believe how far he had walked and how close he had come to giving up. Back at the rescue station, doctors confirmed that he was exhausted and dehydrated, but he would recover. Looking back on those 7 days, he realized that survival isn't about being the strongest person. It's about staying calm when fear takes over, making smart decisions when every choice matters, and refusing to give up, even when hope feels impossible to find. Because sometimes, the greatest victory is simply making it home alive.